Well, hello. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing great. Um, just relaxing. Um, Today's my day off, so I'm happy for that. Uh, um, I haven't really been doing much today, so I know there's a couple people I want to just trying to do an earlier stream open. I get more people watching. Um, One song. This is actually one of my But anyways, um, I'm mm, just relaxing on my day off, like I said. I am still pretty tired, but hello. That's why I turned it off because I get um I got somebody else that tells me that too, so that's why I turned it off. Do you want to come up on panel? Um, Hello,
Hello, Ben. How are you today?
I'm good.
That's good.
How are you?
I just got out of bed at 11 o'clock, so
Oh, well, I just woke up at noon, so trying to sleep in on my day off.
yeah, it's always nice to sleep in.
Hmm.
So, what are you going to do interesting today?
What am I gonna do that's interesting?
Yeah,
Um,
for you. Do something for you.
that I don't know. I might go get me something to eat later around 4 o'clock. Not McDonald's because I had McDonald's last night. But what are you gonna do?
I'm in the middle of cleaning my pantry, so my kitchen looks like a bomb exploded. Nothing is worse than trying to like clean out a closet or whatever because you pull it all out and it's like the whole room is like a mess and it's like you look at it and go like, why did I even do this?
Right?
Yeah, I just need to go through all the the stuff like all the canned goods and the dry goods that I have in my pantry and
Yeah,
make sure they're not outdated.
yeah.
But I'm sitting here in the middle of it going like, I don't know why I did it, but it had to be done. It had to be done.
Right?
Yeah. So it'll take me a couple of more hours and then it'll be all done and I won't have to worry about it.
That's good.
And then maybe I'm gonna do some laundry.
Uh, yeah, I might go get me a sub later.
That sounds good. Yesterday when I went to the supermarket, I go every Tuesday. I bought a hoagie. It was nice.
Nice.
Uh, every week when I go, I usually buy a hoagie because I only eat like a quarter of it, like a piece
So
per.
last you.
So it lasts me for like 4 days.
That's good.
Do you cook?
No, I don't know
No,
how to. Nope.
it's not hard to cook.
The only thing I know how to make is scrambled eggs.
Uh,
That's as far as my cooking goes.
okay.
It's embarrassing, but I wasn't taught when I was little. My mom or dad never taught me how to cook, so
Okay. I learned to cook from my grandmother and my mother and my father, but mostly my grandmother.
ah,
Yeah, because I used to live with her, and when I was in high school, the last 3 years of high school, and my first 3 years of college. I lived with her, and she went blind, and she used to tell me like what to put in, how to make stuff, and how much of this to put in, how much of that to put in, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So
that's good. You had somebody to teach you.
yeah, yeah. But I grew up where my mother and my both of my grandmothers, they made bread. They baked bread every week, homemade. So I learned how to do that. I can't make a pie crust. Um, I don't know. My pie crusts are like leather, but I can cook pretty much anything. Yeah. Do you have any brothers or sisters? Did you grow up in a big family?
Yes, I have. I actually have a really big family, but I have one twin sister and one brother.
Oh, okay. I have one sister, and she is 10 years younger than I am. And
Mm.
I come from a big family as far as extended family because my mother's side of the family, my grandmother's sister, she had 9 children, and then all of those 9 children had at least 6 children each. Plus, now all of their children have 2 or 3 children each, so it's quite a large family.
Yeah.
I'm very close to my family. Yeah, the other day when you came up on ABC and you talked about your disability, uh, I have my first cousin Carol, her daughter Victoria is a midget,
Oh,
and Victoria has had probably when she was really young, like when she was a baby, I would say from the time she was born until the time she was like 5, she had like 21 operations.
oh, geez.
hmm But Victoria is, she's only like 3 foot tall. Um, she's married. She has 2 adopted children who are also little people. Um, she is a civil engineer. She has a degree in civil engineering.
Nice.
She works for the state. She has a special um, band that was customized for her so she can use her wheelchair. She pulls it right up to the steering wheel and locks it in, and she can drive because all of the mechanics are on the steering wheel.
Nice.
Yeah. But nothing ever stopped her from like doing what she wanted to do. She's a very much beloved. She is like the favorite person in our family.
Ah,
You know, everybody loves her. I mean, she's 40 years old, and she's just a great person. You know, so,
that's good.
and like you said, people who have disabilities, they're just normal people. They're just limited in what they can do. Doesn't
Yeah.
make them any less of a person,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
You can overcome anything. in your life.
Right.
And I think you have well, I'm sure you've
Thanks,
overcome a
DT.
lot in your life.
I have.
Yeah.
Okay, DDT. Thanks for coming in. But um yeah, so I mean some people, like I was saying before, some people with disabilities don't really have a voice of their own because they can't really talk. They some people, their disability is to the point where they can't talk.
Yes.
So
AB has his daughter is non-communicative. She can't talk. I have another cousin. Well, one, two, three. She's like my third cousin. Um, she's non-communicative also, but she communicates through like a computer. Like she can type in things,
uh-huh.
and she talks that way.
Oh,
Yeah. She has other issues, but at least she can communicate, you know, her thoughts to people. And she lives with her grandmother, and her grandmother was really good in getting her all of the necessary means to live. Now, she will never be able to live like on her own,
right.
but she has a brother who is normal in his, whatever normal is. But I mean, just normal, a person who can do everything. And, if anything happens to her grandmother, because her brother and her live with their grandmother,
Yeah,
and he will take care of his sister. Yeah.
that's good. That's good.
And that's why, like, when I see these auditors like Patrick and them picking on people who are homeless or making fun of people who have like learning disabilities, it makes me sad because, those people are out on the streets for a reason,
Right.
whether they chose to be there or whether they're there because of circumstances. And they're human, just like everyone else, and should be treated that way. You
Yeah,
know, like I work in the soup kitchen like 3 days a week, and there are a lot of we have a good amount of homeless people. Plus, we have a lot of elderly people who live by themselves, and they come in because they get um, we offer full meal every day. Plus, we have like all kinds of things like you can get bread or um, other things, that you may need there. Like we have clothing, And it doesn't make any difference whether you're homeless or whether you're elderly. It's all there and it's free.
Right.
You said you live in a group home.
Mm-hmm.
How many people are in your group home?
Uh, right now there is uh right now there's four.
Okay. Do all of you work?
No, I am the only one in the house that works.
Okay.
A good think of a good acronym for this charity. What charity?
What charity is he talking about?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
We're not talking about charity here.
What charity, DDT? The voices. Oh, the Voices for the Disabled charity. Oh, I get you now.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't been thinking of a name, um, for it.
There have to be other programs on YouTube that where there are disabled people who have like channels and stuff like that. I know there are because I've seen there's one that I used to follow. I don't see he hasn't posted in a long time. It was a young man who he broke his spinal cord and he's you know physically handicapped.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and then there's another couple. Oh, what is it? Squeege and something where he has a muscle um, disability where he's in a wheelchair permanently,
Mhm.
and um, he's getting married.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up for you so you can. They're funny. They're really.
My
He's funny.
talking about with the second one.
Yeah, I wish I could. I can't get into it unless I go out of here, and I can't go out of here because it's like I'm I'm on an iPad. So, what I'll do is I'll look up his channel, and you can watch them. He puts out videos all the time, and he goes around the country talking in different organizations and that about his disability. And then there's another gentleman that I watch. Um, he has no legs. There are two gentlemen that I watch who have no legs, and
Really?
they do everything. Yeah, and they're
Ah,
very motivational. You know.
yeah. Hi, Roadhog. That is a good idea, DDT. Oops, not that one. This one. I don't know, but acronyms seem to do well. Hi, bless your heart.
Oh, bless your heart. Now, she has Squirmy and Grubs. She must watch them. They're really an interesting couple.
Squirmy and Grubs.
Uh-huh.
Never heard of them.
Yeah. He's funny. He's really funny. Yeah, they just got married.
Ah. Hi, Blue Eyes.
I see you had 199 subscribers yesterday. Did you hit 200?
I don't know.
We
I
need
don't.
to get more people for you.
Let me see. Let me go to my own channel real quick. Nope, I haven't hit 200 yet. Nope, I haven't hit 200 yet.
Oh, well, you'll get there. But we need to get you more exposure.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And that would be good if you went to, other channels where people have disabilities, because
Yeah.
then you could, promote your own channel there through them.
Is Anon 2.0 Anon? Yeah, I'm assuming so. I'm doing good, Anon 2.0. How are you? DDT. Then do it. Okay. Okay. I thought that was you, but I just wanted to make sure. Oh, and I've got 12 people watching.
Good. Well, what I'm going to do is every panel I go on now, I'm going to promote your panel, Becca.
Really awesome. Thank you, Josiah.
You need more supporters. You really do.
Right. Two now. Bless your heart. American Bulldogs. Okay. Yay, I'm at 200 now.
Yeah.
Thank you, American Bulldogs. Wow. Hot Rod, we're really not fussing about anything. We're just talking about people with disabilities and talking about my channel. Ooh, 16 people watching now. Now Anon's on his regular channel, I believe. Oh, thanks, Anon. Now I'm at 203. I'm good, Hot Rod. How are you? Jeez, I really am at 203.
Yeah.
That's cool. Glad to see you back, Becca. Thank you, Anna.
Yeah, you should go on just to like you did the other day to go on with like a balance. You know, just to say hello so people get to know who you are.
Yeah.
And he would gladly promote your channel or like just to go on to Kenny Klein's panel. Um, you don't have to talk, but at least people will get to know who you are.
How long will be the walkathon? I don't know quite yet, DDT. Um, I haven't really decided that one yet.
Are you doing a walkathon?
I might once this COVID's over.
Do you get sponsors like and get money and donations?
Yeah, that's what I plan on doing when I start it. Kenny Klein. Okay, I I will check it out. Um, and wow, I guess I picked one of the right times to do a panel. Because usually everybody else is watching everybody else's. Put sponsors on your butt cheek. Hot Rod. Now you know I can't do that. But I don't know. I was thinking about maybe I think the walkathon will be 2 or 3 days. I have to decide.
Is that an organization in your area that sponsors this, Becca?
Not that I know of, Josiah. But I'm thinking about starting my own walk once this
Okay.
COVID, once this COVID is over.
Okay.
Geez, I would love to be in South Carolina right now. It's 85 degrees there.
Let's see how warm it is here. It's only 59 here, and it's
I'm
108.
checking. I'm checking how warm it is here. Yep. It's 57 here. I'm in Hot Rod. I'm in Michigan. Hey, old Pappy. I'm doing good. Um, but honestly, Hot Rod, I wish I had your type of weather. Hey, Peachy Rider.
Now I know Peachy. She's a nice lady.
She is. Only 46 in Wisconsin. But sunny. Hmm.
Yeah, we need to promote you to get your channel up there so you get more. So,
Yeah, because I know, like, I'm not that popular, so.
well, and that's the whole thing. It's not the idea that you're not that popular, you're just not known. And that's why just even popping up on A Balance's channel or Kenny Klein's channel, or even
Yeah,
if you go to Peachy's channel, you don't have to say much, but that exposes you to everybody else who is
right,
on and viewing their panels,
right,
you know? And that's why even if you like, I'll look up these people that I follow who have handicaps and, you know, you just going there and commenting and, saying that you're handicapped and this and that and getting responses, you get more exposure,
right.
you know? Because no
Yeah.
matter what you think, Becca, you have a lot to offer, you
Well,
know?
thank you, Josiah. That means a lot.
I mean, you can bring awareness to people who have your disability as far as your physicalness, you
Yeah.
know, and that. So that's important.
Peachy Becca needs to make this happen, in my opinion. Are you talking about the walk DDT? Handicapped is basically where I have some limitations as to what I can do with my cerebral palsy, such as uh my walking is a little bit messed up. Oh, you mean for the streams DDT? Peachy, I think he was talking about me. Oh, your your grandmother has cerebral palsy. Just in general, everything.
The voice of the disabled. That's a good way to promote yourself because it covers everything, no matter what kind of disability.
Right?
And if you promote yourself that way, uh, so everybody who's in this stream, when you go on other panels, just promote Becca.
Yeah. Um, I I would love to do something like that. I mean, because I don't know if you knew this, but March is actually Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month.
Well, then this coming March, we should do a big thing, and get everybody to come and to your channel and find out. You can find out everything and get people to come and talk about, what's out there and all that, and use that. That's a good platform right there.
And actually, the exact date for the Cerebral Palsy Awareness Day is March 26th. I know because I researched it. Prior to not this last stream, but the stream before that. If we get her 1,000, she can do more with this, the AB model. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's too much of a challenge to get you 1,000 subs because there are enough people in here who have influence
Right.
out there to promote you.
Peachy, would you like to come up on panel? Or Roadhog? Or Hope? But yeah, I would really love to do something like that. Peachy, I posted the link. Peachy's here. Hi, Peachy. Hi, Peachy.
How are you? I'm sorry, I was muted. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Awesome. Hi, Josiah.
Hello, Peachy.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. I'm just trying to. This is my second time up with Becca, and I'm just trying to get her some subscribers. She should, like I said, she should listen to AB and every once in a while pop in. And AB is very generous and gentle, all depends on the topic. And Kenny Klein.
Here comes Hope.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, Hope.
Hey, Peachy. Hey, Becca. And hey, Jeremiah, I think.
Josiah. Hello, Hope.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Look at
Good
that
deal.
pretty. Look at that pretty green grass.
Oh, yeah, I just cut it yesterday. Well, last night. I got to cut next door now.
It looks
got
good.
The heat. Thank you. Got the heating and air conditioning guys over putting a new unit in the house next door. So I'll wait till they get through. Hey, I'm sorry.
Hi, Mammy.
Can somebody help me out? And I might go lose signal too. I don't know how to operate my phone and look at the chat while I'm on the panel. I got down here at the bottom it says mic, cam, mic, chat, and then a leave button.
Are you trying to get the picture off?
No, she's looking how she can see the panel.
Yeah, see the chat.
Yeah.
See the chat. It's
Hit chat. Hope. I hope I'm not stepping on you, Becca.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Hit chat down below, and then you'll see private chat and comments, and then hit comments.
Okay.
And
The last,
You,
huh?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You go ahead.
The panel will go away. You won't see us, but we can still
Mm-hmm.
see your grass, and you can still hear
Okay.
us, and you'll see the
Okay.
chat. Yeah.
Okay.
So hit
Last time
chat. Yeah.
okay. If I get knocked out, because last time I tried it, I got knocked out. So if I do, I'll come back.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to be careful when you get out of the comment section. You have to be careful to not X yourself out completely.
Comments.
There is a X on the right hand corner that you X out of the comments.
Okay, I got it. I believe I do.
Yeah, there you go.
And see, we can still hear
Where?
you.
Okay.
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Okay. And then I see the X on there. Well, good, thank you, because I'm not savvy when it comes to this technology stuff.
You're welcome.
I really don't have the patience.
You'll learn from your mistakes, Hope.
Right? Absolutely.
It's only a button. You're not going to kill anybody.
Well, you know what? I bought a computer about 6 or 8 years ago, and I tried learning, and then I got it and picked it up and just about tossed it out the window. And then about 3 or 4 months later, I got so tired and irritated and stressed about it. I put it in the floorboard in the back of my truck, and that is where it has been for the past several years now. I just use this telephone. It does what I want it to do so far.
Yeah,
enjoy.
I do the same thing, Hope. I pretty much do everything on my iPhone right now. I mean, I even edit all my videos. I film, edit, do all that on my iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just get used to it. I mean, it's certainly would be easier on a desktop or laptop with some of these things.
Yeah. And you know, most of the time when I use mine, I like to look on my phone before I get ready to do a job that I'm going to have to keep my hands busy for a while. And it's like yesterday, I turned it on and I found Golden's live stream, and I just put my earbuds in and laid my phone down. And I was busy working for hours. I don't know how long it was. And then when it got time to go home, I looked and it was time to go home. And I said, well, shoot, this is so good. I'm just going to work a little bit of overtime today. So I just went on back to work. Get me a little bit of extra time having fun listening.
Yeah, good for you. She went 6 or 7 hours yesterday. She had a great show.
I know it. Yes, you did. Yeah. I'm ready for the fire back now, because you know there is going to be some with the with Mr. Know-It-All.
Yeah, I know who you're
Hey,
talking about.
you know what? He is a smart man, but he just comes over the wrong way. Yeah, I mean, I've learned from so many people on here, but it's just the attitude that I have a hard time focusing on learning from people.
Hi, Guamito.
Yeah, Hope, if you're talking about who has been in the picture for the past 5 days, and he's smart as a fox. So
yeah,
what he's actually doing, sorry, Becca, what he's actually doing is getting everyone's attention.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing everyone against everyone.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Becca?
Who are we talking about here?
We're talking about someone you had on panel the other night.
Beaver?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
No, 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 no. We're not talking about Beaver.
No? Who are we
No,
talking about?
Hope said it.
10th man.
Oh, 10th man.
oh,
Yeah, okay. He can't he disappeared but he did come on uh Golden Eyes channel.
Gold. Yeah. Yeah.
I missed it
Yeah.
because I went shopping and all that and then I was paying attention to Kenny Klein. He had a 6-hour stream also.
Yeah. Well, he got my last bit of respect that I did have for him yesterday. And if you heard it or you go back and listen to it, you'll understand why. And we're all of us are imbeciles and cunts. If you don't think like him and believe in what he says, we're all imbeciles and cunts. And I listen to him, but here and there, but I ain't got nothing else for him. That's all I want to say.
There's many people. There's many people that believe that sings that same tune. Hope, unfortunately, with the C word, and
Yeah.
if you don't believe in their way of thinking, or you cross someone that you speak out with somebody that they like, and you're gonna get
That's right.
bashed. You're gonna get bashed and called the C word.
10th
Yeah.
either toothless. No, just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's really unnecessary to go on a
Yes, it
panel
is.
where there are women and use that word. That word doesn't even need to be brought up. You can express yourself in so many other ways than using that word. But
Yeah.
he uses that word
all
the time.
Religiously. Yeah, he uses it religiously.
Yeah.
I learned my lesson several months ago about calling somebody a bitch. And I don't even know this person, and I really like this person. She is a very, very smart, intelligent lady, and she said something I didn't like one day, and I called her a bitch, and I felt bad ever since it, and I have apologized for saying that, and now I try to think twice before I call anybody a name or something like that. And now I'm saying if I do, then I really mean it. And if I mean it, I'm not going to apologize for it, which I don't want to be that way. I'm learning not to be here on YouTube.
I understand exactly what you're talking about, Hope. I call people out, or I defend myself, and I'm bad about saying fuck off, fuck you. but I don't. Sorry, Becca.
Yeah.
I know you're panicking.
No, it's all right. No, it's okay.
I don't resort to name calling, bitch, cunt, or blah blah blah. I don't resort to that. I do resort to other not so nice ways of expressing myself. But I don't.
Right.
Yeah, I try not to name call. I don't, and I can be a dick, and I know this. I can I can be a real dick. I admit that.
I just try to have fun with it. Even when this arguing and bickering's going on between people, and it's pretty much the same. I want to say the same team against another team, because that's what it seems like. I just play like it's some kind of ball game. Okay, you're going to be the bench warmer, and you're on first base, and who's the pitcher, and who's the coach, and this and that and the other. Because I don't want to get involved in it.
I could be.
You need to just look at it as a game. that you're participating in, and don't take any of it seriously because they're not paying your bills. They're not putting food on your table.
Good afternoon, Comfort Doll.
You know,
So,
I want to say this, and I'm gonna be quiet for a minute. Let somebody else talk. You know, we have so many good panels, some good educational panels, and I want to get up there and ask questions, or put in my little bit of 2 cents worth, but uh, I can't I can't compete with some of these people because they're so smart, and you know my education is nothing compared to them, and when somebody, especially 10th man, he wants to call you stupid and this and that and the other, buddy, if you knew the way that I was raised and treated when I was a kid, you'd understand why my mind doesn't obtain as much stuff as yours. You just can't learn when you're a kid and you've got so much stuff going on behind closed doors. Does that make sense?
yes, that makes a lot of sense. But
And
every sorry, Peachy,
no,
every
go ahead. Go ahead.
everything that no matter a person's education doesn't matter because life experience is just as good as any education. Book knowledge is book
Absolutely.
knowledge. So,
Yep.
your life experience is just as valid as anyone who has a college degree. Don't ever feel that you are less of anything just because you don't feel intellectually up to their, this is YouTube.
Oh, right. You know what? I had rather be where I am today with the common sense that I have than so many more people that I see up there with book sense. I guarantee you, the way the world is now, if it keeps on going, I want to see how people are going to make it without
Yeah,
the things that they have. I really would. But I guarantee you, I'm gonna be a survivor.
We hope we need we need your wisdom. You know, it's just like with 10th Man and Beaver, and they do have things to add. Yes, they are very controversial, but I would hate to
Yeah,
sit here on panels and have everyone stroke each other's egos, right? And
right.
all just keep agree, just all agree with each other, and we just don't get
Yeah,
smarter. We don't get wiser like that, you know.
right. Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I like Beaver because Beaver plays a good, hard, tough, vicious, mean game, and that's 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 what he's a powerful piece to this game,
I
and
don't
I
like
don't want to
liars. I don't like
I,
liars,
I
Hope.
don't want to be in that game. I don't
Yeah,
want to be
no.
Well,
in
so
that
is
game.
it true, Peachy?
Yeah.
Do what
Is
now?
it true that he told me the other day on my stream that he was dating Mammy?
I didn't tell you that.
No, Beaver did.
Oh, Beaver did. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is that true?
Yes, I think that is true. And I think Mammy was just on in your chat, Becca.
Yeah, Mammy was in my chat.
Yeah, I think that they this is what I've heard from Beaver is that I think you know what, it's not even my place to say. I think they've been talking for a
Yeah.
little while, so I'm not going to say dating, but I don't know. Here's
I think
have y'all met Sophie?
No.
This is Sophie.
Oh, what kind of dog?
Um, she's some sort of hound. Some sort of hound dog. I can't remember. My dad told me last night, and because I'm like, well, why? She ended up in in a rescue organization, and my stepmonster, well, she was my stepmom, but now she's my stepmonster. Um, she she got into rescuing animals here on the farm for a little while, and because of her doing that, they adopted Sophie, and then another little dog, Mia. And I was just asking my dad why Sophie, why she would end up in a rescue, because she's such a great dog. I mean, she is really smart. Yeah, she's a good girl.
How old is she?
I'm not sure. No. I'm not sure, Becca. Yeah, she's very smart.
Oh,
I think it's and I hate to bring up this person's name. I believe she's a type of dog that Rick Crude has some types of dogs like her.
oh, okay.
I can't. If somebody can remember the name, I just can't. Yeah, I didn't mean to change the subject with
No, it's all
Sophie.
right.
But having controversial people, I think is okay, and having different opinions is okay. I don't like the lying.
Yeah,
I don't.
absolutely.
If I'm mistaken, I will say I made a mistake. I'm not gonna, I don't lie. I don't tell white lies, and I don't viciously lie about somebody.
But Peachy, Becca, I don't mean to be white knight, and I think I understand what that word means. But I don't think I've ever heard you over there or seen you over there in Big D's channel. He's got a good channel going too. He's one of my people. Becca's one of my people. GD and Chip. That's the main ones I pretty much follow. Which I do. I listen to a lot of them because when a panel gets through, my phone will just go over to the next, and I listen to whatever comes on. But sometimes some of them are so going at it that my stress gets irritated, and I start shaking, so I have to change it to something else.
That's understandable.
You know.
I mean, like a lot of the panels, I feel like I don't fit in, so that's why, like, sometimes I get scared to go on panels.
Well,
I don't go on.
Becca, you have a lot to offer. I think we all do have things to offer. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's I can't think of but 3 people right now that when they go on panel or make a video, I click off and I don't watch their video because I don't know, it's got something to do with me. I'm pretty much positive about that, but I don't want to listen to it. So I just click it.
It gets old,
Move
and
on.
I've kind of been on a rampage the last 2 or 3 days, and I need to. I had somebody ask me earlier, well, what's wrong with you? Why are you being like this? Blah blah blah. I guess my point of view, I kind of get tired of. It may, I need to do what my mom teaches me. If you don't have something good to say, don't say it at all. But
Yeah.
it's hard for
Yeah.
me when I see something, when I see hypocrisy, people being hypocrites. I mean, constantly they're downing other people, but they do the same thing. They're talking about the other people, but they're doing the same thing. They're saying this, but they do the opposite. And or this one person I'm going at it right now with. This person bans people when she gets butt hurt. She's a mod in a lot of channels, but when she gets butt hurt, she bans people. She hides people, not just times out, but hides people. And I don't go for that shit. I don't, and I'll call it
Yeah.
out in a heartbeat. And I'll get consequences for doing that. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care. Channels
Yeah.
beware.
Well,
Channel owners beware. Channel owners beware. This person times people out for butt hurt feelings, and that's the truth of it.
you know, Peachy, I did. I got kind of, I don't know what word to use, but it kind of upset me a little bit when you came in there on Lady Di's channel last night, knowing what she's been going through and trying to have a nice, calm, peaceful chat. And then you came in, and I understand you were angry and this and that and the other. And I mean, you took over a panel for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. And I thought maybe, well, she's just gonna say that and move on, but you just kept on and kept on and kept on. And I'm not trying to make you feel bad or anything, because I would have done the same thing. But I uh, kind of felt bad for Lady Di, because she was trying
No,
to,
I
calm her
understand,
stuff down.
I understand. I understand, and I that wasn't right of me, and I try to do better with that. I was triggered. I was banned. I was
Right.
hit again in her room. I can only
Oh,
guesstimate who did it. The best prediction of the future is the past. If you want to know what's going on with somebody in the future, just look at their past. They're going to probably repeat the same behaviors. So this is why. This
yeah.
is why, and I'm sure the person I mentioned hit me once again, like she's done many, many, many channels. So yeah, I got triggered a little bit with that. But there's people all the time that goes in Lady Di's channel like a wrecking ball, and that's okay. And they're never called out. They go in like a wrecking ball every single time and bring up all this shit about people, and they're hardly ever called out about it. I do it once, oh yeah, why are you wrecking her show, blah blah. I'm just saying, and I'm not mad at you, Hope. I'm glad you're honest with me, but because you are dead right. You are dead right. I tend to go overboard, and everyone knows that about me. I do,
Yeah, I
but
left.
also, women have that right. Okay, let the women get the worst of it in this community, and I know I'm not picking on a woman. I'm calling her out, but typically we get the worst of it, especially by men in this community. And so everyone else can go off the rails about somebody, but let a woman get upset about something. Let a woman talk a little bit too much on a panel, and they're going to get super criticized for it versus somebody else. I'm just saying that's my experience.
Right. Yeah.
If
Well,
you can, it's like I used to tell my ex. Okay, you can get upset and you can holler in your screen, but then once I do it, then you can do it, but I can't do it. That's the type of thing, right?
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it is disrupting. And I've been on Lady Di's panel enough times to where I don't usually go in like a wrecking ball, and I don't feel good about it, and I don't. But my stance still stands firm on the message. The delivery is crap. My delivery is crap when I get upset, and I admit that it's crap, and I'm a dickhead, and my delivery is horrible.
We all do it. We all do it. So Becca, I came in the middle of your stream. Are you gonna try to switch things over
What
for
do you mean?
this? Okay, I'm game.
Well,
I
no,
never have got a. Huh?
I mean, you guys, this is an open panel. I mean, I'm letting you guys talk about whatever you want. I'm not judging anybody. I'm not like that.
Okay.
Well, and I want to say another thing too. I don't make so I have a second account, Peachy Writer, second channel, and I had to make that channel because somebody was going around blocking me in every channel, and so I had to make a second channel just to go and say, hey, I am hidden in your channel. Please unhide me. But hey, I think people know me enough that I don't have to make a sock account because I will say what I need to say with my real account. I don't hide behind sock accounts. and I'm not a coward. I'm not a coward to. I'm not a coward. I'll speak up about things, and I do go overboard. I've already said that I go overboard, and I
Yeah.
do feel bad. I do tend to feel bad about things like that. So even
This is
if
the only
even
account I have.
what's that?
This is the only account I have.
Yeah. Well, Becca, if people were hiding you from, if they were butthurt with you, and they hid you on AB's channel, and they hid you here and hid you there,
Right.
there's some way. It's hard to get in contact with people, right? So once you're hidden,
Yeah.
and it's very difficult for the channel. It makes it hard for the channel owners, because and if you're hidden, you can't type anywhere. They can't see you anywhere. So how do you let
Right.
them know? How do you let them know you're hidden?
Right. You can't unless you make another channel.
Yeah, you can't. That's right. Or unless you email that person, or unless you send word with somebody else. And that's
Yeah.
what's so crappy about this person doing that. She doesn't give a damn about what she's putting the channel owners through. Not one damn. Not one fuck's given does she care. And she's not only done this to me, but she's done it to a lot of other people. And that's my whole big thing. And she can come up with all kinds of other things that's that's she's deflecting, but the point is, why do you hide people with butt hurt because of butt hurt feelings is my question. That's just not right, man. I don't do that shit. And I get triggered about it, and I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up about it. Sorry,
Right.
Becca.
No, it's all right.
Yeah,
Like
don't
I
hate
said,
people. Don't block because of personal feelings. Because your butt hurt. Don't block people. Don't hide people. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Look at that beautiful grass.
Hope, how much
Oh, yeah.
property do you have to mow?
Uh, about 3 acres between this one and the one next door. I cut both of them. Can you still see my yard?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. But this,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see this, but I was walking around here on the bank, and all the darn hickory nuts. I mean, they're everywhere. Too bad they're so hard to get into. They got a good taste to them, but they're so darn hard to get into.
I guess the squirrels
They
eat
love them.
those nuts, huh? Yeah.
They love them. I'm gonna try to. Okay, got it out. Got out of the
Yeah,
comment.
we've got
Oh,
acorns falling here like crazy.
yeah, the acorns and the hickory nuts and the black walnuts, the chestnuts. It's time for the chestnuts to start falling now. You remember those? They call them Buckeyes.
I think we used to make rings out of those in school, like in the playground. We would take something sharp, like a sharp piece of glass. And are they that big where you can? We used to like drill a hole, make a hole in them, and we could put it around our fingers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably so, Peachy.
Yeah,
Probably so. I never seen
we
a ring made out of them, but you
yeah
know,
we were
there's
just
not.
little kids.
You don't see very many chestnut trees these days, being they've already torn most of the woods down and everything. You're like your crabapple trees. The crabapple trees, they're loaded this year too. I mean, loaded. And
Hey,
a lot
Hope,
of people,
I'm sorry.
huh?
I'm
Go
sorry. Go
ahead.
ahead. No, I
Um,
interrupted you. I apologize. Go ahead.
a lot of people don't know what crabapples and chestnuts are these days. I'll ask them, you know what a chestnut is? And they've never heard of it. But we had trees uh, across the neighborhood way when we were kids. We used to go pick them every year, but a lot of people just don't know what they are today. The the older generation do, but the younger don't.
Well, they don't get outside enough and explore. They might get outside in a science class to, go identify things outside. But yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of these kids just don't
You,
get outside enough.
Kids don't play outside
last
anymore. They don't explore in the
no,
summer. They're always in the house on their
they don't
iPhones
know
or
what
on their
they're missing.
iPads. No.
They don't know
When
what
we,
they're missing.
I grew up in the country, Hope, and I grew up on a milk farm, a dairy farm, and it was all farms where I grew up. And when we weren't working, on our own farms as kids, we were always in the woods exploring, always.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Um,
Josiah.
Hi, Kentucky.
this
Hi,
tree
Jimmy
right
Ward.
here is right out my back door, and that's where the mom and the daddy hawk, built the nest. And I've been feeding them all summer, and one of them was back last night. I throw food out every day, and one or two of them come up. The baby's gone. I hadn't seen the baby in about 3 weeks, but it's gone. And then last year, I went out the back screen door, and I kept running into a spider web, and I tore it down every day. I'd tear it down. And then I went out there one late night. Well, it wasn't late, it was at sundown, and it was building it back. So I just started keeping an eye on it, and I watched them build it back every day. I'd go out every morning and tear it down. And when the sun would go down, the spider would be out there weaving the web again. Well, last night, I've been watching one out the front door and going down the steps, and I've been tearing it down, and he'll go back and build it every night. Well, late yesterday afternoon, I was watching him build it, and I just stood there and watched him for a long time. He would ball up just do a ball of web and just ball it up, and he'd hang down and then go up and then ball it up. And the next thing I know, he shot that piece of web to the other side of the house. About 5 or 6 inches away to another piece of the house to make it stick. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. I mean, he just balls it up and he shoots it straight across for it to stick to where he can go and build some more and then shoot it out where the web will stay all night long for him. I said, darn, I'm going to try to get caught up to where I can sit out in the evening and just put a flashlight up and video it and watch him weave that web.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Nature is amazing.
It is.
It is.
Comfort Doll, where do you
love it.
live? Comfort Doll in the comments, where do you live?
That's what I was going to ask Hope, if you want to share what state where you live, Hope.
In Alabama.
Oh, okay. You're not far from me.
No.
I went to school. I went to college at Jacksonville State University.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad's an Auburn graduate. So
okay. Yeah, somebody told me last night that I was saying, it was a Bama Green Eyes. She said, Hope Peachy Rider's an Auburn fan. And I said, no, Peachy.
I was raised because, my dad's an Auburn graduate. So, hey,
yeah.
I came by honestly, right?
All right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish, I really wanted to, I don't know. I didn't have my heart set on going to Auburn, but I played sports in college, and I'm not tall enough nor good enough to play Division I ball. So I think that was one big reason why I didn't go to Auburn.
Peachy.
Yes, sir.
Comfort Doll in the comments says she lives in Southeast Georgia, aka Golden Isles. I always see Comfort Doll in the comments, and I just ask where she lives. So you're all Southern belles.
Yes, aka Golden Isles. I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up. Comfort Doll. I used to live I live more north. We call it quote North Georgia. There's not, I don't know. There's plenty of north still miles from me, but we say north of Atlanta, North Georgia. But I did live in Middle Georgia, Comfort Doll, for a little while. I coached and taught at a middle school in Macon, Georgia, for a little while. That was then I got sick. I got sick down there, and then I moved back home for more for support, for more help. So I needed it. Thank God for my family. I needed help through that time. So I should be all happy, smiles, nothing negative coming out of my mouth, because I'm really lucky to be alive. I should cherish every minute of every day.
Yeah, it's hard to do. We're human.
Yeah, Comfort Doll says in the chat that it's south of Savannah.
I'm south.
I love Savannah. That's a beautiful area, Comfort Doll.
It is.
Yeah, it really is.
Macon's pretty during peach tree season.
It is.
Go up there. I used to go up there every year. They had a peach tree festival. They probably still do.
Only good thing that came out of Macon for me, well, I met a lot of nice people there. I worked a lot at a high school, and then finally I was hired at a middle school full time. But I got involved with a tennis organization, with a tennis family. And I never really played tennis, but I really got into it in Middle Georgia. And I absolutely had a great time. And that's one thing I really miss. I miss my friends. I miss my friends down there that I made through tennis. And I miss playing. I'm not playing right now. So, but I'm going to get back to it.
I would love to, but I can't anymore.
It's hard. It's difficult on your joints, on your knees and hips and everything. Yeah. I still have a couple surgeries to go, but once I get through some surgeries, I'm going to be as good as new again, and I'll get back to it. Yeah.
The best I can do is play up against a concrete building. That's about as much as I'm going to do now. I can't run those courts like I used to.
Oh, you're a player too? That's awesome.
Yeah. I used to, that's all that I wanted to do was play tennis.
It gets addicting.
It was. It does. Me.
Yeah, we won the state title for we got this goat, not happy. We won the state title for our division, and it was doubles, and I've won several individual single tournaments, but yeah, I really loved it, Hope.
Me too. I miss
it. I get excited. I watch it on TV and I watch clips, and I get excited about going back.
You know what? Back in the day, my favorite player was John McEnroe.
Yeah.
You remember him?
Oh, yeah.
I loved him. I did, but he had an attitude, didn't he? He'd throw that racket down.
Yep. Yeah, he did. You remember when Billie Jean beat him?
Mm-hmm. No, I don't. I didn't see that.
Yeah, but did you hear a female beat him? It was a big to-do then.
I know Billie Jean.
Yeah. Personally?
Not personally. No, yeah. I don't know her personally, but I was studied following her around back in her days.
Yeah, she beat him in a of course I can't remember when this was. Maybe early 80s. Maybe late 70s. I can't remember.
I think it was probably in the 70s.
It might have been, but I know he was getting beat in public like that. He was fit to be tied.
He sure was, but I don't know why he was my favorite, but he was. I like Jimmy Connors too. He was real good.
Yep. Yeah, it's a great sport. I picked up golf years and years and years ago, and I enjoy playing golf. It's expensive. Golf is expensive. But if I had to choose between golf and tennis, I would choose tennis.
Me too. Golf's just too boring to me.
Yeah.
You don't stay busy enough.
Yeah, it's fun, man. You just go out and drink a couple of beers and enjoy the outside. You know, you don't get tired. I had a person who I really started playing with. He's like, you don't. He's like, you're not good enough to be mad. You know, once I realized that I wasn't good enough to get mad, I started enjoying it more.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Golfing is more of a networking sport for, building relationships and different businesses and stuff like that through business. That's why so many men play it.
It really is, especially if you're involved in the corporate world.
Yeah.
You know, that's why a lot of people too get involved with sororities and fraternities and colleges. It's a huge networking after college. It's like your family in college. And but no, you're exactly right, Josiah, with the golf thing. Yeah. There's a really nice course down the street, and I don't know what I'm going to do, if I'm going to go back to teaching, but I need something part-time here in a little while. And I would love to work at this country club down the street, but just to get the benefits from using their facilities.
Yes.
Good idea.
Yeah, they have they've got even indoor courts. Imagine having a country club with indoor tennis courts, golf course.
Wow.
Yeah, tennis courts outside. I forget how many, maybe 15 or so. Indoor courts, indoor swimming pool, athletic club. Now I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know how they're doing now. I would be interested to see with the COVID and everything how they're doing.
Hi, AB.
Hello, AB.
Hi, guys. Hi, Big
Hey,
Head.
Balance.
What are you guys up here, just hanging out?
Hey, AB.
No,
Just
we're hanging out.
Hanging out, waiting on you, I reckon.
I came up to talk to Becca and just encourage her to go on some panels and listen, or even come up on your panel, and because you would let her speak, and just to get her voice out there as a disabled person, and get some followers, get some more subscribers. And
Oh, yeah. Becca, you have to, I understand, everybody understands that feeling. You'll get your chance. You have to always, you're going to find yourself always doing more listening, which is probably a good thing. Do more listening than talking, and pick your points. You have to become even more, you're on to the next level. So you got to be even more self-disciplined sometimes, but you do a great job, Big Head. But there's an anxiety because it can feel like, everybody has you wrong, or, I understand the feeling no matter what, but that's the whole point to YouTube, because you have your own place to, share your opinions and generate the conversation that would best suit you in any particular means. And we don't always have the answers in the time. And, it's, it's easy to get swept away in things, Becca. So don't be discouraged by any means, but I get it.
Right.
And that's what our conversation started out, was just to get her more subscribers, get her more exposure. I'm going to just put up some video links to different people that I watch who are disabled, and I told her to go on Kenny Klein, because Kenny Klein has a lot of different discussions, and to listen and just promote herself, because people will see that she's there, and then they will come. And we were talking about, I think DDT came up with like Voice of the Disabled as a talking point for her channel.
Yep, he did come up with that.
Could even, that's a good idea. You could even take it a step further and cover your ass and add some comedy to that, Becca, and make it more of a rant, kind of like Emo did. But You'd have to experiment around, of course. But the whole point of it is you get to deliver a message to somebody that's, going to listen. So, you have to experiment around with how best to, what best works for yourself, that is.
Yeah.
We find yourself
Becca,
trying to fit into too many places, and you get away from being yourself. And you, Becca, could really, succeed in any arena by being yourself. And that needs to be, reminded here, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, Becca, you're loved by a lot of people. You're followed. A lot of people follow you. Your sub count may be seem low to you, but a lot of people love you and follow you. I don't
Thank
think
you.
that your sub count reflects how many people enjoy watching you.
Right.
And the fact that you're not dating Derek anymore is a good thing. You gotta make that work to your advantage. Don't be so codependent on him. He's bringing you down. You should go after Dave in a fiasco that can unplay on YouTube. You can hit on Dave from this side and drive Derek nuts a little bit. All in good fun, though. Nothing, gotta
Right.
keep it tongue in cheek.
Yep.
So what else is new? What are you up to today?
Today I have the day off work, and then I go back the next 2 days, and then I'm off Saturday.
You have to remind me, are you back at, you left, I keep thinking of
Kroger.
Lowe's, but not Lowe's, Kroger's, yeah. Are you back at Kroger's now?
No, I'm at McDonald's on Stadium.
Oh, that's cool. They treat their employees right at McDonald's, though, Becca. So, I mean, you have an opportunity to really succeed in a place. McDonald's has come a long way, and they, hate them or love them or what, despite their food, they're everywhere, but they do treat their employees right. You can get it in the company.
Another restaurant that really treats their employees right, in my opinion, is Chick-fil-A. I think I know there's some controversy around them, but I like their hours. I like the fact they're not open on Sunday. And
from an investor standpoint, Peachy, sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay. Go ahead.
McDonald's is an example of a Fortune 500 company in 2020 that it is possible for you to join it at any level, move up in the ranks, own your own, and become a franchise owner, and succeed in life that way. There's not very many places that they use that as a talking point to hire people. They really do it right. Hands off. As cheesy as they can be sometimes, but everybody relies on their food. Fuck, I love their hash browns.
Oh, I love their hash browns too.
I do too. I usually order two and not one when I get breakfast. But did you know that there's more Subways than McDonald's? There's more Subways. Yeah.
I could believe that.
Well,
You can fit a Subway into so many different kiosks, and it relies all on fresh local produce.
Yeah.
It's pretty popular, and it's affordable to get to start up a Subway, and people love them.
Yeah, unfortunately, I like all that food. I don't discriminate when it comes to food.
Well, we live in the city. I take advantage of here in my particular town. The ethnic food is great, and there's always, when you have the immigration that Canada does, there's always these little places popping up, and there's little competitions, and you really get to taste some unique cuisine. That's not necessarily, great because it's ethnic, but this particular family has done it, and it's it's not a franchise, and it's fresh food, and it's something you probably unexpectedly wouldn't get anywhere else, which is unique.
Right.
So you have a neat little setup there, AB, living in the city and being able to do what you're doing with your plants. That's pretty neat.
I know it.
Well, it comes.
Wow.
It's very unique to cannabis and how the plant is grown. Like in 2020, a gardener with applied knowledge. There's a lot more into getting a successful harvest than you think. It's not just you plant a seed. Of course, you can do that. There's all kinds of different ways, but thanks to the hard work of many people bringing it to the attention and wanting things done after Prohibition, and universities having these studies done, they have a foundation which they could then say, what's right and wrong in the arena of the court systems, and hence people's rights. So it didn't hold any water, but doesn't matter. But the plant grows best under a controlled, environment. And if you do it right in the recreational market and you're disciplined like no other, it's like no other business. I mean, you can succeed if that truly is your love. And I fucking love growing cannabis. That's what I love, growing it more than
It's
smoking.
beautiful too.
Yeah.
But I mean, the whole art in it, there's many different reasons why. It's been my dream since I left high school. I joined my dad's company thinking, what every 16-year-old thinks. But the first day that the guy that they put me with ended up teaching me at that point on the drive to and from work how, the intricacies of growing cannabis at a time where it was, criminal. And my parents, drove them fucking nuts. I was planting stuff and they would kill my seed, but they could kind of see, what I wanted to do. But they, of course, were totally against it. But in my mind, I had at the age of 20, it all figured out how I was going to grow cannabis illegally, and fund it just by my apprenticeship through my dad. Of course, it was a pipe dream. I was going to grow it in seed cans underneath the ground so nobody could, see it. And of course, you can still do that. It's probably a cheap alternative. But of course, you have to abide by municipal bylaws. I encourage that. It's worth pursuing if you want, and you can do it. Of course, you have to be disciplined enough to follow the law. You have to be able to walk and chew gum here at the same time. And with something like cannabis, a controlled substance, there's always the incentive and there's always the opportunity to get rid of your product at a market value if you have a supply. And I mean, you have to account for your costs at the end of the day, and you have to know what you're doing and believe in the system that is being laid out as we speak. Like, I mean, there's all kinds of problems with it, but it's a relevant and a good place to continue the activism if needed. You don't have to make a mockery out of it anymore, right? It's not a joke. It might be to your parents or your friends, but fuck, boys, if you know how to grow it, I mean, why wouldn't you? That's a lot of money. There's a lot of profit to be made, and something that a little bit of knowledge brings.
I was just talking to my dad last night, and about this weed business, and he's old school, right? I mean, my mom and dad are both old school, and they have never smoked weed in their life.
Well, my family are all crop farmers. They are anti-cannabis. Like, I couldn't even mention it. They disowned me already because of my pursuit. But I mean, I'm going to do it despite, like, it's just that much sweeter to me. Who gives a fuck what they want?
Yeah, but
what else? In about 2 years, I'll have a lot more money, and they'll be treating you a little different when you're rolling around in a Rolls Royce.
Hey, I was gonna say something though, AB, and ask your opinion. My dad was saying something about, I don't think he used this word, but something about being oversaturated. Well, the market will become oversaturated. I beg to differ.
Impossible.
Yeah.
No, you can't. It's like growing gasoline.
Yeah.
Impossible. It's so different, and of course, the government wants to standardize something. And the thing with cannabis or that particular type of crop is you can't standardize it. Rick Simpson, Canadian doctor, and many people know his specific way of standardizing cannabis oil, and made it popular in the 90s. That was his attempt to standardize the treatment for it for medical use, because you have to apply it to something, right? So the thing is the strains differ, and there's always, like, it's an entirely different way of growing. You can grow it for next to nothing. Of course, there's different ways, but I mean, people are constantly trying to get better cannabis or better product, so if the chance is there, they're always open to trying new things. It's like a better restaurant. The demand, it's really overtaking the government's chance to control it. Not that that's a bad thing. Like, I mean, that's a healthy economy. That's what they want, is to benefit and thrive off a healthy economy of it. And that's the way it's going. They just have to kind of do that in real time. You know,
it's like liquor. It's like making alcohol.
Yep.
There are different qualities of alcohol, but I think it will, in our lifetime, maybe. Well, you're way younger than I am, but in our lifetime, I think it's going to still be controlled by the government, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, and it should be, and it has to be, because here's an opportunity for, like I said, a person in Canada. I should speak for Canada. They give the security around it. It places it in the grower's hands. So, I mean, if you want to put yourself through what it takes to do this and do it successfully, that takes work. It's not just it's not as easy as you think, man. But I mean, of course, when it comes around to tax time, you have to have things accountable. And I mean, we live in a day where you just have to press a button and everything's done for you. Believe me, get QuickBooks. It looks after itself. Know how to use it, and keep yourself sharp with the laws that are in your area. Learn how you can affect them to best suit your business. That's what guys, take advantage of your environment. We live in a great part of the world. You know, the government isn't against you. Just, remember to pay your taxes on time.
And this is one reason why I joined your what do you call it, your membership thing, because in my opinion, AB gives, not in my opinion, he gives good common sense advice, and this is why I joined AB.
Well, that answer right there, everybody wants to hold back online because this industry is so lucrative. Everybody has different ways to navigate it and best, I guess, use it towards their advantage. Christ, I mean, if you have the land, well, listen, I'm trying to build something, so I have interests around that way. I mean, I need the help of everybody around me. So the best way to get that is help them. That's time honored. I mean, lots of things can go wrong in the meantime. Everybody's trying to get something for nothing.
I don't understand. Sorry, B. I don't understand why the governments stopped growing, hemp and cannabis are two different things. But why they stopped that? Do you remember a particular individual? Oh, Hearst. Hearst Media, the media conglomerate now back. William Randolph Hearst.
William Randolph Hearst was the man who was the founder of the DEA, Drug Enforcement Agency, and they added the cannabis and this whole bullshit to the lump of booze and the whole thing that developed Al Capone's empire. Back in those days, the exact same situation. He influenced Canada as well into that, and this prohibition was imposed in cannabis, and hemp and things like that still remained on that control list, which was just as ridiculous then as it is today. And of course, people are believe what you say, and they're sheep, and they go around because people have the right, to stand by the laws that are imposed around them, and pretty soon they forget why they were there, but they still have to feel obliged to follow the law. And that's kind of how the bullshit started. And of course, nobody told you that back when we were kids. Fuck, you would never hear that story, but the William Randolph Hearst was the man behind it. Especially even to this day, he's William Randolph Hearst anyway.
Yeah, hemp is a very useful product. I mean, it can be made into many different.
Well, it has this binding agent in it, a special, like how an egg is to your binding agents in something like that. Well, hemp has the same thing into rope, and they still have always used it. Just because they don't produce it in the States doesn't mean you can't get it on a global level. They've never stopped. They've never stopped producing cannabis in the Middle East, and certain ways of making these hash, which are trichomes off the plants that resonate off the glands of the plant. And it's been popular in Africa and Morocco, and of course in Lebanon, up through Afghanistan into Indochina for thousands of years. Thousands of years, people have, as old as the tea roads are in China, in the Silk Road, people have been using this product. And why, it's kind of like a rebirth in the United States. And of course, everybody in the US has, their attentions internally. It's not really externally. They kind of forget as to why things are the way they are. It's not just in the cannabis culture. It kind of bleeds off into other little areas as well, like the 1A community, for instance.
Yeah, I understand.
But think about its effect as to what has filled up the private prisons all throughout the United States. Around this time, they start closing down the mental, facilities, and no more institutions, and no more psychological help. Put them all in the goddamn prison. There's a better, faster, quicker way in this culture to get things done and make things money. And every 60 days you file an invoice and you get paid, to the government. That's what they love to see. And people fall through the cracks, and it's happening in your inner cities. You've been watching it for 60, 70, 80 years. They have, it's all under the same kind of mentality,
Well, I think
culture, it's all hand in hand. It's that sort of mentality.
Yeah, I remember back in the 80s when they they got rid of all like the state hospitals for, people who have extreme mental issues. And that's why we have so many homeless people on the street today.
Well, they become people that are stigmatized, and they become unemployable, for example, and they need to find other ways to feed themselves and their families. And unfortunately, that's where most of your crime happens.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as like with the homeless today, there's a lot of mental issues there, and these people have nowhere to get services for that. And years ago, they had state hospitals that were strictly for, mentally challenged, and they took care of those people. I know it was an institutionalized industry, but these people are on the street. I work 3 days a week in a soup kitchen, and I know these people personally, and some of them are just petrified of dealing with the institutions anymore.
So when people finally actually realize over time, when they ascertain the knowledge and things of all the uses for medical cannabis or marijuana or different strains and how it's grown, and they get intrigued and they fall in love with what it does as a plant in nature and want to replicate it for themselves. But to consume it in your food and your butter, and how to get at that with your household utensils, pretty soon you can't afford all the ways that you want to consume this product. So you need to start growing it yourself. And it's very easy to learn. You just need to know the little tricks, and you can do it all yourself. And you can, but of course, there's people that have all kinds of money that can throw money at something at one time. There's different ways to get things done when it comes to an agricultural setting and producing a product for market, and go a co-op. Like Eric Brandt has all this land down there in southern Colorado. I'm thinking, fuck, man, you get a few of those guys from Denver down there and put up a bunch of hoop houses with polyurethane and PVC pipe, a couple of those a day, and they could be producing a few $100,000 worth of medical cannabis for themselves to feed into the Denver market. Oh God, just with a little bit of land, the things that you can do. And of course, you can grow this stuff in a controlled environment, which, Peachy, is my point. It grows best under controlled environments. You need to be able to, protect it from the winds and all the creatures, and you want to maintain a sterile environment type of thing, and you have to be able to demonstrate that before the government will give you a license to be able to do that. So you have to, every time, say year, it depends what you want to do. Here it's like up to 200 plants. So if you want to get a license to grow up to 200 plants, it's about $2,500. You have to have the setup approved. You have to have a security detail plan and things like that. I just went through the process, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did it legally, because now I can help other people do it very quickly, which is where the money lies. You can't buy certain things when you're trying to get something accomplished. But now I'm trying to grow what I have now, which is I've got a complete system maxed out under legal regulations, municipal. So my next step would be to expand outside that and apply it in a bigger setting. And that's what I'm in the midst of doing now. But with cannabis, you can harvest that every 60 days, Peachy. Every 60 days.
Okay. I am unlucky because I'm allergic. I swear to God, I'm allergic to marijuana.
Well, all the better. You won't get high on your own supply.
No, that's true. That's true. And I'm living on property that would be perfect to do that.
Don't get it wrong. Like I'm sober. I don't smoke. I don't drink.
Yeah.
I eat the odd brownie, and that's about it. I mean,
no,
I don't do any of that. So
I find myself unlucky because I was issued a prescription for CBD oil, and I couldn't find a place here in Georgia that would fill that.
That should be relatively easy, because that comes from the hemp plant. That doesn't come from the strains that we grow necessarily.
Yeah.
Although there is little measurements. That comes in the Rundorella strain, which is an auto-flowering strain, which people now are crossing with these photoperiod strains, which have these, you usually have to switch to a 12-12 light cycle for a certain amount of time to bring the flowers out. Now you don't have to do that, because the North American strain here flowers automatically under a controlled environment. And
well,
it's very
I don't think I react like that to CBD oil. It was a matter that I couldn't get it filled, the prescription filled, and the insurance wasn't going to cover it, and it's expensive. The marijuana part, I wish that I know marijuana helps people with pain, and it does. I can tell you this, it makes me hurt worse.
Oh, I can believe it. If it's internally, you internalize, and especially if you don't know what to expect. So how they
I'm not internalizing it. No, it's not mental, AB. It's not mental. And actually, if I think all the way back,
your body is physically reacting to it, is what you're saying.
Yeah. And I think all the way back to college days when I smoked a little bit, at parties and fooling around and such, that I can remember it would get my respiratory system. I would start talking, have like a frog in my throat. My knee, I've had operation on my left knee. My knee would hurt. I've had my stomach hurt. And then all these years later, man, I've done it maybe, I'll try it. And then I regret it the moment that I do it. I'll tell you a few things that helps me if I smoke. And this is
because you're not certain on exactly why you're treating yourself with it. It's okay. You can't get past the point. At some point, well, for many people, not you, Peachy, but there's a psychological factor. Like for myself, when I first got into this, I was still like, I'm like, fuck, man, people are discriminating against you here for doing it. It's not like a free for all. But once you're in for $1, you're in for a pound, or in for a penny, in for a pound type of thing here. I have to go, talk about it. My point was, Peachy, is you have to, like, if you want to. There's so many things that people use cannabis to treat for. There's a whole alphabet. I think there's 72 things here in Canada that you can go to your doctor, and what you would do is get a slip from him telling him that you want to say, for example, treat your rheumatoid arthritis with cannabis. So then you can plug in how many grams per day, like THC, he would apply that has been found helpful to for those with rheumatoid arthritis. No different than he's treating it with that THC, not the CBD. It's a pain treatment, so it's depending on what it's being treated or what you're treating it with. You have to get permission here, and then go take that to a dispensary, and you would pay through the nose accordingly, or you would take that to a person like myself and say, can more affordable, I want to have my medication on hand. That's how we would come up with a number, what to apply from the government with. So if you're rheumatoid, so in your mind, then, you could see, is this helping me? Or, so you really have to, in your mind as a consumer and using it for medical purposes, knowing what you're treating in yourself, not just the fact that you got tripped out on it.
I understand that. And I know that, look, okay, when all this was hush hush about smoking and everything, nobody's really talking about it, right? And now when it's more open, I'm finding out more and more people have reacted in this way, or they react in different ways, in negative ways with marijuana. Now maybe a different strain, maybe in very controlled
Very little people actually smoke organic flower. Okay. So
yeah,
that's where, when the processing of the cannabis flower, for example, comes in, you want to separate the organic from the oils, and which you're after, which is of use here. The organic matter holds no value in any of it. It's all garbage. People just love to smoke flower because traditionally you just don't think that you smoke a doob and that's how you're treating it. There's
right,
topical ointments, and you can, if you're treating rheumatoid arthritis, you would go and you want to absorb through your skin, through that joint, a topical ointment that was probably cut with Rick Simpson oil. You're consuming it and you're taking it down the best way that your skin can absorb that.
right. I've never used topical. I've eaten I have
You can eat the topical; it's edible. But I
right.
mean,
Well, I have
you
eaten.
just
Well, I'm
put it
trying
on
to.
different.
I don't take a breath, AB, please. Like you tell me, PG, take a breath. uh, I have smoked. I have eaten. I have done the CBD oil. Now, over all of it, I think the CBD oil, ingesting it, works. Probably works best if I can afford and find a place that I can get that for my pain. I have not tried anything topical, not tropical, topical on my skin yet. I don't know what the issue is with me. I know sounds crazy, but if I do vape some pot, smoke it, even eat some brownies, I do better if I have some alcohol in me and I have hot water, like a bathtub or a hot tub. That's about the only way that I'm going to really feel good doing that stuff, unfortunately.
Oh well, I don't smoke, I don't drink, and I haven't done any marijuana since I was in college. Long time.
Yeah, I just don't think it's for me. I've pushed the issue with me off and on throughout my life. I've tried to enjoy it. I've tried to have a good time with it. I've tried to relax, things like that. I don't think that I'm so hard headed. If it's around, okay, hand it to me, But I just probably need to give it up and go towards just stay towards the CBD oil for me. But man, I love the fact that it's become legal in a lot of places. It's not legal here in Georgia yet.
You know,
Yeah,
it's been legalized in Pennsylvania,
yeah,
but you have to go to a dispensary and you need a doctor uh, to give it to you.
yeah. AB, I didn't mean to cut you off. Oh, he X'd out.
Jumped.
Yeah, I told him to take a breath. I didn't mean to be disrespectful.
But we've been talking a long time. Becca, did you see someone suggested that you should change your name from, instead of Big Head Small Body, to Big Heart Small Body?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
Oh, I love that. I love that, Becca.
Big Heart Small Body. Yeah, that was a nice thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have been in and out of your channel.
Yeah, I know they have.
Yeah,
I
that's
have
good.
15 watching right now.
That's good. That's good. But no, I just wanted to get on and, promote you and just let you know that you're not alone. And there are a lot of people out there, like go on AB's panel, go on Kenny Klein, and just listen. And when
Golden
people,
Eyes. Josiah,
if,
I'm sorry to interrupt. Golden Eyes is a good one too.
yeah, golden eyes. And when people see you in the panel or in the comments, then they will get to know who you are. So even if you don't speak, on the live panel, as long as you're in the comments, people will get to know you And now that you have a platform, they will come over and listen,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So you're going to do well. I'm going to push you on every, comment section that I can. I'm going to bring up your name so
Thank
people
you.
will come over and, participate and support you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. AB is back.
Yay! I hope you're not mad. You didn't rage quit, did you, AB?
No, I was
I'm just kidding.
technical issues on my end. Browser cache.
No, you're real passionate about these things, and I really enjoy listening to you.
Well, you got to get an opportunity when you have an opportunity to keep your, spread that particular message. That's what drives, I mean, anytime I have it comes up, I'll talk about it, Peachy. But I didn't mean, I kept forgetting that you had a potential allergy to it. So I'm sitting here Googling it in the background at the same time. So, I mean, an allergy is an allergy. I've that's all.
Yeah, I don't, that's what's so strange, AB. I think it is an allergy because the respiratory and, the way that...
you can have an adverse reaction at any point. Like, I mean, here's an example. Okay. So the cannabis plant, some of the chemicals that it creates, what it does is it replicates any scent or taste gland in nature. And that's how it either attracts or repels insects or its enemies. And that's what it does. So when in the drying process and in some certain stages, it is possible that people could have an adverse reaction if it's not dried or cured properly. And
why would it make me hurt more, AB? Let's say, for example, my hip. Right?
Well, it's an inflammatory. Like if you're ingesting, for example, if you're smoking organic matter, your lungs are probably inflaming to the point where it's hurting. Like if it's making you cough, like it's the organic matter, it's not the oil or anything, because
it's making my hip hurt. It makes my hip. Okay, so my problem is with my right hip, right?
Yeah.
So it makes my right hip hurt worse.
Okay, well, that's of course. I can't really say for sure. It could be different processes. I'm not saying it is or it isn't, but I mean, if it makes your hip hurt, so that doesn't really. That's kind of funny. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you're stoned and you just think it's your hip. But I mean, I don't know.
No. It is not psychological. I know for a damn fact that that I've done that and it has made me hurt worse.
Yeah.
Now,
so it's an inflammatory. The key word there is an inflammatory. So it's inflaming something. You're having an adverse reaction, not to cannabis, the organic. Yeah. So it could be from the simply of smoking of it. So if there's a chemical in there that say you are allergic to, there's just too many what ifs in that scenario. Right. But what I'm trying to get at is that it's interesting, but I think it's surrounding, like your body could be triggering off. If your lungs inflame, your whole body is off. Say if you're not feeling good and have a bout of the flu or coming off a cold, it could make certain things ill. We're aging, everything fucking hurts, right?
But it was eating it at that time, not smoking.
Oh, fuck. So edibles, that's a different scenario. So how you get high off it. So if you smoke it and ingest it through your lungs, the effects of it are different than if you took it through your metabolism system, like your digestive system, and metabolized it. If you're metabolizing the THC, it goes through a different process, no different than drinking your medication does or digesting a pill, taking it with food or taking it with water, things like that. So, but I mean, ingesting an edible and THC can send you into a trip that is very I don't like it. I never liked it. Like a little bit sometimes is okay. But having like a whole brownie, I get so introspective and I get paranoid and I hate it. And I things in my body, I like, holy fuck, I can feel my toes type of thing. That's
makes you more aware.
You get introspective. That's the word, I guess.
Yeah. I only ever had, and this was, I think it was like I was 21 years old. And I'm not a smoker of cannabis or any of that, but I was with a friend of mine, and well, there were three of us. And at that time, there was a thing called Thai stick, and it was, I don't know if it was treated
Yeah.
or
So a Thai
whatever.
stick is a trimmed bud right off the branch, a particular strain of. So how the bud grows from seed is the same way every time. It's a particular strain from Southeast Asia and Thailand that even they made popular in Nice Dreams, Cheech and Chong. So the Thai sticks would fit in the cylinder tube, and it was easier to deliver those THCs, those trichomes, untouched, like unprocessed, just with like a wet trim and dried and then stuffed. People loved them and just peel them right off that. And actually, you could package them up quick enough and still abide by the medical marijuana laws. So it was kind of a popular thing for a little while.
Yeah, but this is going back when I was like in my 20s. I was in college, and I remember smoking it, and it made me freaking paranoid. They walked out of the room, I was right behind them. Wherever they went, I had to be with them. I was so freaking paranoid. Never smoked it again.
So back in the day when we were kids, like even in the 90s, a high THC would be 10, 13, 12% would be like very high potent bud. Of course, the most popular shit on the street where most kids had was brickweed, that would come from organized crime units and crime syndicates in Mexico, which was shit fermented weed and not medical grade cannabis. You have to unlock the potential, and it takes time, skill, and effort, and knowing what that particular plant wants at what particular time, and a little bit of luck to unlock the potential in the flavors of these cannabis plants. But back then, so if maybe a 3-4% brickweed might give you a headache and get you buzzed if you smoked enough of it. But a little bit of good quality bud goes a long way. And back then, if you had good quality bud, that would be a rarity. So that's probably what you ran into, Josiah.
Oh yeah, I know. But I mean, even when I was, going back into like the 70s or early 70s when I was in college, I mean, you could buy a whole pound of grass for like $20.
Yeah, but that's brickweed. So in with that it's not the same stuff. It's a completely different variety strain. It's not what it is in the 21st century.
No, the THC levels are much higher, and that. But
so
I
the
remember
processing that what you would get on the street. So how they would harvest that is they would have males, females gone to seed. So all the potential energy of that plant went into producing the seed and not into producing bud. Or
there was so much seed in it. I mean, they would shift. They would sit with they would take a shoebox lid, and they would dump it, and then they would take a piece of cardboard, even a match box, and they would just sit there until all the seeds rolled out of it. There were freaking tons of seeds.
So down in Mexico, when they harvest that, they throw it all in one pile, and the moisture never gets to dry properly. It starts to ferment, and bacteria and mold grows. That's where you used to get that really heavy hay smell. That's what that smell is, and it turned brown. By the time it got up to North America, you might be able to get high for a very little, 10 minutes off it. But that's what you'd find on your high schools and college campuses and shit like that. And of course, there's no need for that garbage anymore.
That takes me back to a funny story. My mom, when I was a teenager, a kid, she had found a bag of weed. Well, she thought it was a bag of weed, and she's like, "Look at this! Look at all this weed!" I'm like, "There's no weed in there. It's all seeds." I said, "The weed is smoked." I said, "That's seeds, Mom." My parents, they're clueless with any of that. But I did want to say one more thing, AB. To give you a little bit of background with my genetics, my mom is actually allergic to alcohol. She cannot, she can't even cook, put alcohol in food and put it in the oven. And if she inhales the steam, she'll have a really bad reaction. So really, I think a lot of this nonsense is just being very sensitive to just crazy things. I think it's just genetics with me.
Could be. A lot of problems are genetic. I mean, people have different reactions to all kinds of drugs. I love how.
Hey, Bruce.
Hi.
Hey, Bruce. I love how they, when you get a prescription, they list the 444 things that can go wrong by taking the prescription. You know,
Oh
just to
yeah,
cover
I
their
mean,
ass.
Adverse reactions.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
my mom can walk to the perfume counter, or walk into with a potpourri, strong smelling flowers, or she used to get affected in church if there was a lot of flowers, strong smelling flowers. So she's a lot more sensitive than I am, but I am still sensitive to certain things as well. Yep.
So how are you all doing?
Good. Are you a smoker, Bruce? Do you enjoy
No.
marijuana? Yeah.
I mean, I actually I do it once in a while. You know, for
By the way, I'm a bit sorry. Hi, Bruce.
hey, what's up, man? Go ahead.
No, sorry. I switched my earbuds and you were talking. I stomped on you.
Oh, I just said yeah. Once I take it once in a while because I got off taking pain medicine for my back. I fell off my roof here. You know, doing some roofing. I ended up falling and so they had me on like some painkillers for a while, and I just told them I'm not taking this crap no more. So switched
Yeah.
over to weed.
I'm sorry, Bruce. Go ahead. I stomped on you. I'm sorry, Bruce. Go ahead.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
I was just gonna say I know the feeling of those pain pills. I was on really strong ones for a couple of years. I'm talking about 80 milligrams of OxyContin, and then oxycodone, breakthrough pain, all kinds of crap. Medicine to put me to sleep, medicine to wake me up. But I'm just so fucking
So all
lucky.
these companies have spent millions and billions of dollars on the lives of people trying to replicate what's available in these plants, and just as
Yeah,
effective, if not more effective, and
yeah.
less
Well,
harmful in the long run.
I'm lucky that I don't have an addicting personality. I got off all that stuff cold turkey, and I mean, it took me months laying in bed
Yeah,
with
well, that's having a good that's a backbone.
yeah,
Physically, you were addicted because that's what the drug does. Physically,
yeah,
I mean, you can recognize that and get yourself off it. A person with an addictive personality would be less likely in that
yeah,
scenario too.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's the real big problem with oxycontins.
yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I was real lucky, AB. I mean, imagine 80 milligrams, 80 milligrams, and I'm not a real big woman. But that was
Up
how
here,
severe.
doctors were prescribing that shit. They would send them out in 1 kilogram containers that would sit above friends in friends cupboards all the time, and it would be ridiculous. Like they were throwing those things around like aspirin back in the 90s,
Yeah.
and not
Sure.
not for like just because people had actual pain. Like they were really saying that this was a wonder drug. You could not get addicted to it. There's no possible way. They've done study after study on it. Doctors were finally, here's a drug that we can, but of course that's contrary to how it actually helps you.
Well,
Through
through radiation, through radiation, through shit tons of radiation. I can't have anymore. I've had my limit. Through radiation and the pain pills got me through the roughest time of my life. And I'm
You had a
lucky to be.
chemical addiction. Sorry, that would be a chemical addiction. Sorry, Peachy.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I'm just lucky. No, my point is, I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I'm not on the streets doing heroin.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
I mean, I'm no different. I could be no different than anyone out on the street selling themselves for heroin. And I'm
You're
just, but
right. Yep.
for the
You're
grace
right.
of God, I did not get addicted. Thank God, and thank God I'm alive.
Yeah,
And
you kept to your convictions,
I
and
did.
you recognized there's treatment for it, but yes, there is side effects, and the side effect is at any moment you can give up on fucking life and not give a shit anymore.
That's true. Yep. That's right. And but that's a good thing with you, Peachy, and myself is I felt that way before the wanting to give up. But I'll tell you this: once you I had to go to treatment, but you know what? I was happy to go. I was happy to learn from somebody that actually gave a shit. So it's great to have wake up. We wake up another day. Don't have to mess around with that garbage.
And the
Thank you.
sad thing is that all of the drugs out there are basically derivatives of plant products. And they've just taken and made the chemical, equivalent of the natural stuff.
Synthesized. They want to replicate synthesized, and the
Yeah.
more recognize and gain knowledge about how and what they can do, the more synthetic things get, and the more away from what they actually are meant to do. And that, of course, there's ones that you want to stay away from, and we think about methamphetamine and things like this. You can't leave people all the time up to their own devices to treat themselves. I mean, it has to be standardized, but of course, this is under constant scrutiny, as it should be. But when it does come down to the end of it, I mean, they're trying to make something synthetic that occurs naturally in plants. And welcome to, making hash. Separating organic matter from the oils and vaping it. If you want to avoid all the organic and the carcinogens that come with burning organic matter, you want to vape, which is bringing the temperature up to close to its vaporization point, which is not burning. It's kind of like steaming off and you're inhaling the vapors. I'm not saying that that's a great thing to do, but it's not smoking and it's less harmful, and it's a more efficient way of delivering treatment, I guess.
I did the vaping too, and this has only been probably less than a year and a half ago. And people say you can't overdose on marijuana, or people don't go to the ER for marijuana. But man, I was about as close. I wasn't really close to going to the ER, but I was messed up. I mean, so much that it was almost like I took a hit of acid. I don't know.
Yeah,
It was
I get
crazy.
that. You're not the only one, Peachy.
Yeah, good. I'm glad to know that, AB. Now, if they can find a substitute for chemotherapy for the poison to kill cancer, that's my hope.
So as odds should have it, science has honed it down to a specific strain that is quite popular within the chemotherapy world of cannabis. Of course, it's still developing, but that's the strain that I have off right now. It's called ChemoDog number 4, ChemDog number 4, but it's spelled ChemoDog number 4. So I thought better get good at growing that strain, because if kind of alludes to its point. I'm not saying it's in no way is cannabis. It treats your symptoms. And I'm telling you, when you're in pain, like a back pain, if you have sciatica or things like that, or knees, and you're sitting on your couch and you're locked up, I mean, you just want treatment. You don't really give a shit. I mean, cannabis works more times than not.
Going back to Peachy, I went, a friend of mine, she had cancer. She had small cell lung cancer. And when I would go with her she would go 3 times a week, and then to that. But I noticed that when you go to a cancer clinic for chemo, it has really become just this ordinary thing, just like going to a doctor's office or whatever. It is so clinical that you don't even really think that these people are, ingesting all of this chemical to, I don't know. It's sort of I just noticed that it was very sterile and very accepted, and not, concerning anymore. And more people live today with cancer because of the different treatments that are available, different kinds of chemicals that they use to treat cancer.
I was given
beneficial.
5 to. I'm sorry, B, go ahead.
I was going to say, think about in that circumstance how beneficial. There's many people out there. You're old. People are getting older. They have all kinds of pills. The less pills that you can take for little effects, and if it can help you a little bit, even your mental state cannabis is a real benefit, you know, to alleviate from some of those medications at certain times.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it comes in. Really
Yeah.
handy to have something so organic. Just on that vape topic, hash and your making hash and separating that organic matter from the oils using water, ice water. You can put that stuff right on your vape and smoke that at a lower temperature setting.
You know, I have to say, maybe with the right strain, and maybe lower dosage. I think when I do something, it's too much. Like when I
Very,
vape.
very low dosage, Peachy.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
if
maybe
it's easy to eat a 500 mil
Yeah.
bar. Imagine if you had a 500 milligram bar of THC. That's like you smoking one. Well, it's not the same thing, but I mean, you're ingesting what's the amount of THC in probably a quarter ounce of weed.
Yeah, I didn't know how to hit this vape thing that I was doing. A friend of mine had, and I tried. And he's like, do it this way. And when I did it, man, I took a huge amount of hit on that, and it just tore me up. It tore me up. I went back. I didn't know where the bedroom. I was staying over at a friend's house, and it's an older gentleman. I didn't know where the bedroom. He's like, well, go lay down. And I'm like, I don't even know where the bedroom is. You had to show. I mean, it tore me up. I sat down.
You got to learn your limitations.
Yeah, exactly. That's right, AB. I think it was just too much. Yeah.
It's like somebody when you're trying to sell a bottle of vodka, he comes up, but this thing made me sick last night. I must be allergic to it. Oh, you had too much.
No, don't confuse that. Don't confuse me doing too much with these symptoms. I know. Yeah, but I know that night it was just way too much, man. And I laid down and watched the movie. I didn't know if I was in the movie. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, there's times where I thought I was in the movie.
If you want to hear a true story about that, back about 10, 15 years ago, we used to have this thing in a little small town called Cornfest, put on by the Optimist Club. And my father used to cook the corn. Well, they shut that down because they had the host of Optimist International there, a few families, and they got into some brownies that somebody shouldn't have had there before, any of this was legal. So they had every symptom that you just described, and they were at the hospital tripping out because, of course, would never even have heard of edibles at that time, and let alone even chose to do one. So they're, it didn't end well. So there's no more Optimist Club there. There's ended in lawsuits and all kinds of fucking things.
What? I just got a clone?
What's that, Becca?
You got a clone?
I was just informed that I got a clone.
That's perfect.
Oh, good. Hi, Becca.
Well, that means you're moving up in the world.
That means what?
You're moving up in the world if somebody wants to clone your name and be you.
Well, Bless Your Heart messaged me and she was like, Becca, you got a clone, kinda. I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah, you're something now, Becca. You get a clone, man. You're doing something right, girl.
Right.
Yeah.
Wonder if this clone is going to come to my stream.
You never know.
I'm gonna eat lunch, and thank you, Becca, for having me. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome, PG.
You're always been one of my favorite peeps.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll be around. You guys have a great day.
All right.
Take care, PG. Bye.
All right, bye, guys.
So, you've had a very successful panel today.
Yes, I have.
That's good. I'm glad. And I want to bring as much attention to you as we possibly can. We need to build your channel.
Thank you.
Exactly.
You could hold you would be a good show idea, Becca, if you held a show and you invited guests to come up and list all the symptoms of their disabilities and everybody had to guess what disability that they had.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Or what diagnosis? So you would say, you know what I mean? You would describe all the symptoms or ailments surrounding your diagnosis or disability, and people would have to guess what it was.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, just selling yourself. It's getting out there and marketing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. The voice of disability.
Yeah. I know Comfort Doll said she had a disability.
Well, a lot of people have disabilities that they walk around with every day and they look extremely normal.
Right?
Yeah. I think there are a lot more uh, uh, like social anxieties and stuff like that that
Yeah.
people live with that people don't see because they've learned to, it's like the functioning alcoholic. You learn to work without that being noticed.
Yeah.
But you can't because you have a very visible, like disability with your particular,
Yeah, with my cerebral palsy.
yeah. So that's very noticeable just
Yeah.
by the way you walk or your hand movements or,
Yeah.
yeah, but there are a lot of people out there who suffer from disabilities that, you just go on.
Yeah. And I try to do that every day, even through my pain that I get.
Yeah, but I'll post some things.
Person. Wait. I don't get what's personal. I mean, a lot of people already knew that I had cerebral palsy, so you know.
Not at all. You having a disability, you probably have more in common with the people that you're watching on YouTube than not.
I mean, I don't see where I was wrong for talking about my disability or people with disabilities.
Well, you can learn how to. Well, now it's a good time to learn how to talk about your disability without being too private. You can talk about it in a way of how it affects you without being specific.
Right?
But it's the constant struggle for people with a disability is incorporating themselves into daily life and struggling with acceptance and things that really drive the anxieties, and people to not bother or to divert their attention to other ways. But in this sense, you kind of be confronting that in a way.
Right.
People would kind of catch on to that and I guess take advantage of the situation, not to troll you. Of course, you're always going to have trolls, but you can deal with that. You deal with trolls every day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, don't worry. You're because so familiar with your environment here on Becca. Don't be discouraged. I mean, you're in a prime zone to take advantage of it in the way that you want to do it. That's comfortable to you. You don't have to encroach on anybody else's live stream to necessarily do that. But going in there and saying hi, and it means a lot more. You don't necessarily have to, beat their brow or drive a point home every time you're up there. Just say hi and listen and ask a question and then take off if you want.
Right. Okay.
It's just some sort of things. There's different social choices that come up.
So, AP, I have a question for you. What time do you usually go live? So I don't go live at that same time, because DDT is always telling me that I'm going live when you're live.
Jesus, I probably should in time set a schedule as we do, but it's kind of contrary to the nature of the show. I kind of take it as it comes, depending. I try to like to have a topic or work on one. Some things don't always pan out. Things pop up in the background. But the good thing is that I'm here, so I keep it open. I know my audience isn't going anywhere, but I just oversaturate the market in the immediate few days with content that you could probably reference. It's just as much of a use to the audience, right?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I have a hard time setting a schedule to that sort of thing, because then you put the onus on myself to perform. Is that what I want to do? I don't know.
Right.
Maybe. It depends what goes on, what
Right.
inspires me.
Because DDT told me at one point, "You're always going live when AB is going live." I'm like, well, I don't know when he goes live.
It's not a bad idea, because you get a runoff. If you're live, people know you from my show and DDT, from other places. There's probably just as much of a reason to have a separate show from mine to, it's not necessarily hampering to you by any point. You don't have to synchronize your show timings to be successful.
Right.
It's more important that you're yourself than it is synchronizing yourself with anybody else.
Right.
You go when you feel like you want to go live, because you got to look at everybody goes live anyway. And, and if AB, if AB is live, and you go live and you say, well, I don't have, you could always stop, go see him for a while, and then go back and do your live,
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. Do it when you feel like doing it. It's not about nobody else. It's about you.
Right.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Like, just go into live panels and just say hello to everyone, or hello to the panel, and people.
The less the expectations that you put on yourself, the better in a StreamYard situation, I think. Go when you feel most that you want to sit up there and talk to people. That's when you should be going live. You don't go up there and put the onus, generate the conversation, say hi, things will pop up. The important thing is maybe read your chat, talk to the people that you know in chat, and things will pop up,
Right.
It's all about putting yourself out there and getting recognized. Yeah. Like, you don't have to talk on the panel. You can talk to the people in the chat.
Yeah.
Well, this has been interesting. We've gone from soup to nuts. Excuse me, I'm having a very bad day with my allergy.
Oh, it's okay.
Becca, I got the natives are restless here. I'm making dinner and people are screaming, so I'll let you go. I'll be watching.
Okay.
See you guys.
Okay. See you.
Take care, man.
Well, so how have you been doing, Bruce?
Doing pretty good. Just got home a little bit ago.
That's good.
Day of work.
From work.
Yeah.
I had the day off work, thankfully.
Oh, that's good.
So.
So what's new with you?
Not too much. Been working at McDonald's.
Oh, congrats.
Thanks.
On the new job. Hope it's a lot better than the other one.
It's working out.
Oh, well, that's good. Good to hear always.
Yeah.
Where's Dave been? I haven't heard him. Is he still staying with DDT?
Yes, he is.
Oh, good.
The last video he posted was not that long ago, actually.
Well, when you see Dave or talk to him next time, tell him I said hi.
I will. The last video he posted was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, Becca, I'm gonna go because my sinuses have like decided to run and choke me here, like I'm gagging. So
Okay.
Yeah.
thanks for
I'm gonna-
having me. And
gonna have
nice to meet you,
come too.
Bruce.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Enjoy your day, guys. Do something
Thank
for yourself today, Becca.
I will.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in a minute too, Becca. So I just
Okay, then that'll give me the opportunity soon to end this because I was I because I was gonna let this go as long as I have people up here. But if everybody's gonna be leaving, I don't want to be by myself. So,
all right, Becca. Well, why don't you come back out later if you want, or
all right.
All right.
Sounds good. All right.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye. All right. Well, thanks for everybody in chat. Thanks for everybody that came up today. I'm going to end this now. I've been live for quite a while with some good conversation. Thanks to everybody in chat and thanks to everybody that came up. I'll talk to you guys later.